$1.5 trillion.
$1.7 trillion.
$1 trillion.
$1.5 trillion.
$1.7 trillion.
$1 trillion.
28,000.
36,000.
What, 90,000?
10,500.
Between $15,000 and $20,000.
60,000.
About $31,000.
$80,000.
$40,000. A national problem that has continued for years, and that's the rise in student loan debt.
We need a culture change in higher education now.
Hear us, we need change. We need affordability.
There are people that are involved here and their lives are at stake.
My name's Natalie. I'm a college student. I go to Grand Valley. I think that in my case, finances played a really huge role in deciding where I was gonna go. And ultimately money was just the top of each pro and con list. And that's when I realized I just couldn't cast it aside. It's kind of hard to think back and think how much I sacrificed and how unhappy I was sometimes because I just was putting so many other things before I put myself.
Like Natalie and millions of other students across the country, the cost of college is overwhelming.
And lagging federal support for Pell Grants have shifted costs to students. We've normalized this in this country.
Today, student loan debt in the United States has reached historic levels. Millions of borrowers graduate owing tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. For some, repayment begins before they are able to find stable employment. For others, it follows them for decades.
I get to work with people all walks of life, and when you really look at someone's financial situation, there's no doubt that the burden of student debt is a negative for society, our economy, and to a degree, just for our future. A lot of people carry debt on their shoulders when they wake up, when they go to bed.
I am Ms. Cole, also known as Lindsay. I am an English teacher at Royal Oak High School. I'm going to be 100% transparent. With the income I've had since I started my career, I have never been able to make a payment. So that's been hard.
To even know you're going to school for 4 years, incurring this debt, and then that you have to immediately jump out in the world and start repaying it is a really scary thought.
They waste no time. You graduate and you immediately start paying on those loans. I am Kayla Johnson, and I have very vivid memories of being young and panicked and stressed and feeling really kind of taken advantage of. For me, it was almost 14 years that I had to deal with that kind of stress and hardship dealing with those loans.
The burden of student loans doesn't end at graduation. Monthly payments can delay major life milestones, and for many borrowers, debt becomes a defining feature of adulthood.
I'm Brittany Laurent, and I'm a high school social studies teacher, Model UN advisor, and diversity club advisor, and it might make me actually really emotional. We really want to start a family. We don't have the opportunity to do so because of the budget that we have. I can't afford to get a house that I would like in which to raise a family with. So that means that this is now pushing off my retirement because I can't afford to put more into my retirement.
At the end of the day, that's enough to stop me from looking into getting into a better place and looking to propose to my girlfriend and things like that. That plays a huge piece into if I propose, when could I even get married? And that's frustrating.
As tuition rises and access narrows, the cost of education becomes more than a financial question. It becomes a question of opportunity and whether the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness still applies.
It chains you. The whole concept of how debt works for education is essentially a method of depriving people of liberty, depriving people of the pursuit of happiness.
When I'm looking at liberty, am I very free if I can't get an education or if I can't get a home without being stuck with a lifetime of debt? And so, how much liberty do I have if I am constantly answering to essentially banks? I'm saddled with this debt for basically pursuing a career to better society. So I got punished for that.
These lives reveal a pattern that's hard to ignore. Education promises opportunity, yet leaves many struggling to keep up. Without change, future generations will face the same trade-offs.
It doesn't matter whether you're upper middle class, or lower income. The likely answer is that the cost is becoming untenable for most families.
The question now is whether we're willing to choose a different future.
We see a future where every student has the support and the resources they need to thrive, and a future where no teacher has to struggle with the burden of student loan debt.